7 months after Demaryius Thomas's death, doctors say former Denver Bronco and Super Bowl champ had stage 2 CTE when he died. It is not clear how much that actually contributed to his death, though. 9 News reporter Darius Johnson joins us now in the studio to talk about CTE and its effects on the brain.
Yeah, Gary, I want you all to stick with me for about 30 seconds as we dive into a little bit of science. CTE is short for chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Essentially, it's a chronic condition that develops weeks or months after trauma. In stage 1, you may not be thinking clearly with some occasional headaches. In stage 2, you experience more depression, irritability, and some memory loss. In stages 3 and 4, which are the more advanced stages of CTE, which start to look like dementia, Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's. With CTE, there's no test, no scan. Nothing can technically be done to diagnose someone with it until after they've died. However, we can recognize some of the symptoms.
I think screening is a must because we're not going to find this condition unless we're looking for it. And I think implementing a formal screening program, not just for professional athletes, but even for high school and college athletes, for our vets, for all of those individuals that are at risk, will help us to diagnose this more before death so that we could potentially implement preventive measures.
Now, another thing Dr. Coley also mentioned is it's impossible to pinpoint whether his stage 2 CTE or his 2019 accident and fall ultimately led to his death. But she does believe those factors, along with the repeated trauma from his profession, eventually took a toll on his brain.
I think about this as a mom, and I think that this is a warning for a lot of parents out there because a lot of kids get involved in tackle football, soccer at a really young age, and we're just now learning what CTE can do to the brain. And
one thing that we were definitely grateful for, we were able to speak with the CEO of the Concussion Legacy Foundation that ultimately performed this and then came up with the diagnosis. One thing that they continuously mention, they say, this is something that can easily start with adolescence, with children playing these sports, and then you continue to go on for so many years until you're an adult, and it's been wearing on your mind that entire time, and you don't realize the damage that's actually happening on and off the field.
Especially at such a young age, your brain is developing when you're 9, 10, 11 years old, and that's when a lot of them are starting this tackle football.
It'll be interesting to see. These companies have come out with these new high-tech helmets that are supposed to help with this issue. Right. Unfortunately, they didn't have those when Demaryius Thomas was playing, but it'll be interesting. They're doing a lot of research on them to see if it's going to work or even help, and we'll know someday, but right now we have no idea.
Yeah, and lastly, just to be able to point this out, I think the one thing, we talk so much about football players, but you also have to think about boxers. You have to think about other people who
soccer players,
people who are often taking those hard hits, wrestlers, all of those type of people. Definitely something that more scientists need to look out for and definitely try to figure out if we can diagnose it before someone dies.
It is really sad. I mean, it even brings up memories of Aaron Hernandez, and it's just you wonder what's going on in their mind and what's happening and why they make the decisions that they make and playing a sport that they love, and then ultimately you see that it was CTE, and it's heartbreaking how these stories end.
Superstars, but we have to take care of them whether they're on or off the field or in a ring.
For sure. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.